Chronicles of Enigma presents Simulation Theory. Simulation theory, also known as simulation hypothesis, is a philosophical and scientific idea that suggests that reality may be a simulation created by an advanced civilization or computer program. While the concept has been explored by many thinkers throughout history, there are several contemporary scientists and philosophers who have written extensively on the subject. Here are a few examples. Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur and CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, has also expressed support for the simulation hypothesis. In an interview, Musk stated that he believes there is a 1 in billions chance that we are living in a physical reality rather than a simulation created by an advanced civilization. He also suggested that the rapid advancement of technology, particularly in the field of virtual reality, is evidence in support of the simulation hypothesis. Nick Bostrom is a Swedish philosopher and founder of the Future of Humanity Institute at Oxford University. In his paper, Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?, Bostrom argues that it is plausible that we are living in a simulation created by a post-human civilization. He bases his argument on the idea that as technology advances, it becomes increasingly likely that civilizations will develop the ability to create realistic simulations of their ancestors or other worlds. If such simulations exist, he argues it is more likely that we are living in a simulation than in a physical reality. Repetition creates knowledge of ways to improve. AI simulators right now on Earth are running 40 million scenarios in order to learn and master whatever skill they are focusing on. Max Tegmark is a cosmologist and professor at MIT. In his book, Our Mathematical Universe, My Quest for the Ultimate Nature of Reality, Tegmark explores the idea that the universe may be a mathematical structure or simulation. He argues that the universe can be described using mathematical equations and that this suggests that reality may be a simulation created by an advanced civilization or computer program. The idea that our reality is a simulation created by advanced beings is not a new concept. In fact, it has been explored by scientists, philosophers, and science fiction writers for decades. While it may sound like far-fetched theory, recent advancements in technology and our understanding of the universe have led some experts to believe that we could be living in a future simulation. The first argument supporting the idea that we are living in a simulation is based on the assumption that technological progress will continue to advance at an exponential rate. As technology becomes more advanced, we will eventually reach a point where we can create simulations that are indistinguishable from reality. This point is called the simulation point, and is believed to be the point at which we will become able to create simulation that is so advanced that the simulated beings within it would be unable to tell the difference between their reality and a simulated one. Basically, you or I could be a simulation and not even know it. This means that if we have not yet reached the simulation point, then it is possible that we are currently living in a simulation created by beings who have already surpassed it. Another argument supporting the idea that we are living in a future simulation is based on the observance of our universe that seems to operate under certain rules and laws that can be described mathematically. This suggests that the universe is a computer program and that everything in it, including our universe and ourselves, are made up of bits of data. This idea is supported by the work of physicists, such as James Gate Jr., who has found evidence that the laws of physics are actually computer code. Jim Gates is a theoretical physicist. He is currently the Brown Theoretical Physics Center Director, Ford Foundation Professor of Physics, Affiliate Mathematics Professor, and a Watson Institute of International Studies and Public Affairs Faculty Fellow at Brown University. One of Gates' most notable discoveries is his identification of computer code-like structures in equations that describe the fundamental laws of the universe. In particular, Gates found that the certain equations in string theory and supersymmetry contain error-correcting codes that are similar to those used in computer science. This discovery was made in the early 2000s when Gates and his colleagues were studying a particular mathematical structure called Indicrus, which are used to describe the properties of subatomic particles in string theory. In supersymmetry, particles are paired up with their superpartners, which have different spin properties. Adinkras are used to represent the symmetries of these superpartners and how they relate to each other. They are essentially graphical representations of the algebraic structures that describe the behaviors of these particles. They found that the Adinkras had a specific pattern that resembled the binary code used in computer programming. Gates and his team were surprised by the discovery because it suggested that the laws of physics could have a digital-like structure similar to that of computer code. Furthermore, there are some anomalies in our reality that suggest it could be a simulation. For example, the fact that we have not yet discovered any evidence of extraterrestrial life could be explained by the idea that the creators of our simulation have not yet included it. Some have pointed out that the universe seems to be fine-tuned for life, with a number of constants and ratios that are precisely tuned to allow for the existence of complex organisms like us. This could be explained by the idea that the creators of our simulation intentionally designed the universe in this way. It is important to note that the idea that we are living in a future simulation is still just a theory and has not yet been proven. Some experts argue that it is a more plausible explanation than the idea that our reality is the only one that exists. If we are indeed living in a future simulation, it raises questions about the nature of reality and our place in it. Are we just a program running on a computer? Or do we have free will and agency? And if our reality is not the real one, then what is the purpose of our simulation? My personal opinion is that the odds of us being a simulation are greater than us being the creators or the ancestors of creators of the simulation. There is a chance that we are the original reality in which we create the first life-like simulations. What do you think? Please tell me in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If it were discovered that we are living in a simulation, it would undoubtedly have a profound effect on the population. It would fundamentally challenge our understanding of reality, and many people would likely struggle to come to terms with this new information. One immediate effect would be a crisis of identity and purpose. People would begin to question the meaning of their lives and the choices they have made. The idea that our lives may be predetermined by the creators of a simulation could be distressing for many people. It could lead to a sense of hopelessness or even nihilism. There could also be social and political implications. If we are living in a simulation, then it raises questions about the nature of power and control. Who are the creators of the simulation, and what are their intentions? If they have the power to create and manipulate our reality, then what does that mean for our autonomy and agency? At the same time, the discovery that we are living in a simulation could lead to a new sense of wonder and curiosity. It could open up new avenues for exploration and discovery, and it could also inspire people to seek out new knowledge and understanding about the nature of reality. In the long term, the effects of this discovery would depend on how we choose to respond to it. It could lead to a new era of scientific and philosophical inquiry, or it could lead to chaos and uncertainty. Ultimately, the impact of this discovery would depend on how we, as a society, choose to approach it. Whether we are living in a simulation or a physical reality, our sense of purpose will be shaped by our beliefs and our values. If we believe that our lives have meaning and purpose, then we will be more likely to have fulfillment and satisfaction in our experiences. However, if we believe that our lives are predetermined or lack meaning, then we may struggle to find a sense of purpose or meaning in our experiences. Here are some ancient examples of similar philosophical and spiritual ideas. Hinduism has a concept known as Maya, which is often translated as illusion or deception. According to this idea, the material world that we perceive is not the ultimate reality, but rather a temporary or illusionary manifestation of a deeper spiritual reality. This concept suggests that our perception of reality may be incomplete or distorted. and that there may be a deeper reality beyond what we can perceive with our senses. Buddhism also has a similar concept, known as samsara, which refers to the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth that beings experience. According to Buddhist teachings, this cycle is perpetuated by our attachment to the worldly desires and illusions, which prevent us from realizing our true nature. Plato was an ancient Greek philosopher and student of Socrates, known for his influential works on philosophy and founding the Academy in Athens. In his writings, Allegory of the Cave, he presents the idea that humans may be living in a world of shadows and illusions, and that true reality may be beyond what we can perceive with our senses. The allegory suggests that our perception of reality may be limited by our own cognitive and sensory abilities, and that there may be a deeper reality beyond what we can perceive. While these ancient examples do not explicitly refer to the idea of living in a simulation, they do suggest that our perception of reality may be limited or distorted in some way, and that there may be a deeper reality beyond what we can perceive with our senses. These ideas are similar in spirit to the modern concept of a simulation theory, and they demonstrate that humans have been grappling with questions about the nature of reality for thousands of years. The idea that our reality is a computer-generated simulation raises profound questions about our existence and the nature of reality itself. However, despite the fascinating debates and speculations surrounding this theory, there is currently no way to prove this or disprove the validity. While some may find the possibility of living in a simulation disconcerting, it's essential to remember that ultimately, we cannot control the nature of our reality. Whether we live in a simulation or not, what matters most is how we choose to live our lives. We must focus on making the most of each day, cherishing the people and the experiences that bring us joy, and strive to make the world a positive place to be. In the end, whether our reality is a simulation or not, the choices we make and the lives we lead matter. So let us live each day to the fullest, with curiosity, passion, and kindness towards each other, knowing that ultimately our actions have the power to shape our world and leave a lasting impact on those around us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.